You can look inside and be happy with what you find.
Hi, Delphine.
Hi, Christina. Today I would love to talk with you about what's going on for us in our video making.
Sounds good.
And my first question to you is that we have been recording these videos and experimenting with different ways of doing that. And yet we haven't been posting any of them lately. Could you tell us a little bit what's going on and what's been happening?
Yeah, what has been happening? Well, I think it's quite interesting. Just some logistical things have affected the way that we've been operating. Initially, we set a sort of interview type format, and then we were getting on Zoom and recording right when we started. And then something changed about the way that we were handling our Zoom. And what actually happened was we just began recording right from the beginning of our session. And I can't remember whether it was a conscious decision or not to let the questions go and the interview style go and just more free form it. But we ended up with a shit ton of material and no structure. Shall I go deeper into what that means, or?
Well, I think I like the short answer for now.
Okay, great.
I just would love to add to that what was interesting is that the results, one of the results, or maybe I should say, on top of that, what happened was that the video has been cut off all the time, so and the sound was really bad. So that feels to me like some kind of a sign as well that something was off. That was quite fun and interesting.
I hope that's not happening right now.
There's a part of me
that is wondering, what is the quality of our video and audio right now? But we're doing the best with what we've got. Yes,
absolutely. So we often hear about this concept of the masculine and the feminine principles. And if we apply that to this situation and our video making, could you give us some clues of what in this is masculine and what is feminine?
Well, for instance, the example that I just gave, the structure is the masculine. The content is the feminine. Also in our interview style, it's the one witnessing sort of the answers. Like right now, you're more in the masculine mode. You're actually consciousness, holding space, witnessing, and I'm bringing the content and the flow. And it's interesting because even if you look at it just in a practical way, or maybe not, maybe a symbolic way, you're quite still, and you can see that there's a lot of movement with my hands and expression. So that's an indication also that I'm more in the feminine and you're in the masculine right now.
Thank you, that's very clear. If again we apply this to our video making, could you give us an example of what could be an expression of toxic masculine or a toxic feminine? Well, and toxic feminine.
Well, one thing I will say is that in some of these videos that we didn't end up posting, one of the things that happened was there's a topic which we are going to come to soon called Speak What Is. It's sort of a mantra that we have, and it came out of an amazing ritual that we did. But we really wanted to talk about this concept, but every time we would get on the line together, neither one of us was in the space to really feel the juicy aliveness of this amazing story. It truly is an amazing story, and it's something really powerful for us. But shit was going on for you, shit was going on for me, or whatever, but we never seemed to be in the right space to bring that with the energy that we really feel around it. So after 3 attempts, we finally decided, okay, we'll just do a video around what's moving for us right now. And for me, that's a really great example. This forcing ourselves 3 times to try to go to that subject because that's what we decided on felt really masculine. And I think eventually we decided, wow, it's too masculine. We're forcing. So it's this forcing that is sort of the toxic masculine. The great structure is a healthy masculine, but this forcing that, no, we said we would talk about this topic, we're going to talk about it. And you said something really brilliant on one of those calls. You said, how can you speak what is and be spontaneous, like with this really, how can you schedule speak what is? It's kind of like, how can you schedule spontaneity, you know? And that really landed with me. So then we tried to do a video around just what's moving for us and what does it mean to say, you know what, the structure isn't working. Let's allow that feminine to just flow and to be with what is moving in us right now. But that led to just blah, 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 a lot of talk without any focus, without any, it seemed like we weren't even really able to bring anything powerful because it got so watered down with this toxic femininity. I mean, I don't even know if that, it seems pretty harsh to call it that, but it's kind of this, you know, as Christian Pankhurst likes to say, you have the riverbanks, which are the masculine, and when those aren't solid, the feminine is flowing out, flooding the banks basically, and it gets messy. And so I think that's what we found when we abandoned the structure altogether. Ooh, you know, we flowed all over the place, and it was really hard to kind of receive or to offer to anyone. It's like, well, I don't even know what I'm overwhelmed with what's being offered. So I don't know if that
yeah, so to summarize, yes, we could say that the toxic masculine would be so much structure and overriding really what is present, so to force things through. And toxic feminine would be, or some expression of that, toxic feminine would be just going all, like, too much. It's not even going with the flow anymore, but it would be just like spilling out whatever is there, and with no structure at all.
Yeah, and there's no container, so there's nothing contained about it. I think that's an element of it too.
Yeah, so for the last couple of weeks, we've been going to both places, and it made it clear for us that what we are aiming for, of course, is some kind of balance, a healthy balance between both sides.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, so then what would that look like?
Well, one thing that is really up for me and feels like a new discovery for me around this is, you know, the masculine is a lot about the mission, the accomplishment, the end goal. And I find myself sometimes getting so caught up in the end, my preconceived outcome, that I'm not really enjoying the process, and maybe not even allowing myself the freedom to explore the process to find out what actually works for me. So what I love about what we've done here is we both agreed, whoa, no structure is not working for us. So how can we bring back in healthy structure, and therefore a safe container, so that we can flow in our feminine with ease, with grace, and with safety, so that, man, it just brings out this sort of dynamic creativity and dynamic magic. You know, that's where the magic is for me. That's where, boom, these crazy synchronicities and wonderful discoveries pop up, because we have a safe container that is not too like, oh my God, so much structure, I can't even fucking move. but a nice, solid, safe container so my feminine can move and flow and feel like, wow, I can bring something really valuable and powerful that another can receive. So for me, that's, just this idea of playing with the process, seeing value in the process of us finding our way, finding that balance. Try this, try that, and see what works. Not just be like, it's either this or this, because we don't have time to figure out the process. We have all the time in the world.
Yeah, I love that. And I definitely love also when you speak about this, the safety. And I really think that's key. The way like the toxic masculine brings harassment, almost like I have to do it, you know. And while the healthy masculine brings safety in which to then move and let things unfold.
Yeah, and I just want to speak quickly to when we were just recording everything and we weren't had no structure around particular questions. We were just sort of bantering back and forth and recording it all and then going back and editing. There was something like, I want to speak to that on safety. Like I never knew like when I'm on and when I want to make an answer and be concise. It was just like, it's actually difficult to articulate, but I didn't feel really safe. I felt like not fully myself. I felt so exposed and so raw that it actually felt unsafe. And then, funnily enough, even though I had all this room to move, I didn't fully feel myself. So it's like bringing back in this healthy masculine and this modicum of structure. Whoa, I can drop back in and be like, yeah, okay, I can fully be here and fully show up. So it's kind of counterintuitive or a little weird to get my mind around, but yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that clarity.
Yeah.
I think we've come to the end of this talk. And I feel good having done it this way. It feels a bit more balanced to me.
Yeah, and that feminine part of me wants to just jump right in and say, but one more thing, you know.
I know, I can feel that. And the
so
masculine part of me is like, we've done it. We can stop now.
No. I want to speak to the fact that there's so much more to this topic, that it's a huge topic, you know. There's no actually like getting it figured out and then boom, it's done and it's all zipped up or in a pretty bow and like that's how it is now. And I really feel like it is a meandering journey, but even though the river is meandering, the banks are solid. So thank you.
Let me try to reassure you and tell you that we can do another talk about and just go deeper on the same topic at some point in the future.
Okay, thank you. That feels good.
For now, I wish you the most beautiful day.
Thank you, Delphine. Thank you so much. It's so great to be back in this space with you.
Thank you.
Okay. Obrigada. Até logo. Bonne journée. Merci.
You can look inside and be happy with what you find.